This is a playable piano, and this is a working laser turret. And these are 73 Minecraft build hacks that you gotta try. Like these awesome moving stairs. While most players opt for a solid staircase, if you instead utilize some tripwires and pistons, players can create a staircase that will automatically fill in around them as they walk up or down. Works like magic, just like this barbecue setup. By first building 2 fence posts and tying them together with an invisible chicken, you can then summon a pig and rename him to get this classic roaster. Now, as cool as moving stairs are, they still pale in comparison to a working elevator. Not only do these take up less space, but they're incredibly easy to build while requiring a fraction of the redstone, using mostly slime blocks, pistons, and observers. Once set up, this bad boy can take you as high or as low as you want. I'll never have to walk upstairs again! And I can play my Game Boy while I ride it up! Easily crafted from a light blue banner before throwing it on a shield, players can craft themselves their very own Game Boy, which can then be placed around your base as a decoration for whenever you need a little gaming break. So, boats are incredibly versatile, but while we've seen them used as things like swings in the past, the new bamboo rafts actually make for fantastic bridges, as if set up alongside some bamboo fencing, players can create this unique and stylish bridge design that is surprisingly sturdy too. While furnaces and smokers work well enough, I'd argue this smoking grill build looks much better. Made from looms and a variety of other blocks, players can create this great piece to complement any outdoor build. And if you want something more functional, swapping out the looms for smokers can give you something that still looks great while also being useful. Kinda like this working keycard door. Rigging up some redstone along with hoppers, a door can be set to only open once a specifically named item is placed inside. In this instance, a paper item renamed to keycard. Just toss it in and boop! It works great for securing your valuables or for hiding your testing room.
Let me out!
Building one of these makes for a great way to safely test various potions.
No, I don't want to be a zombie! Oh, darn it!
Another successful day of testing.
Oh, okay, I have the target in my sights! Fire!
Though for more offensive measures, you could also build this cool rifle out of an armor stand and some rods. Just make sure you've got a spyglass on hand to scope in.
Run! Run! Yes! Freedom!
Now, Minecraft technically has balloons, and though they're limited to the education edition of the game, that's not gonna stop us from finding some axolotls, hitching them up, and creating some balloons of our own with a levitation effect. They come in a bunch of colors, and if you attach them to a fence post, they make for a great decoration. Aren't they just the cutest? Parrots, on the other hand, deserve a bit more respect. That's why, by just using some trapdoors, scaffolding, and chains, we should all build them these perfect little perches for them to rest their wings. What do you think, Bonks Jr.? Is it the best thing you've ever seen? Tactical nuke incoming! Wait, what? Ah! Oh, wait, it's not moving. Hold on. Oh, this is just a really cool nuke build made out of a bunch of random blocks. It's not actually rigged to go off. Not that it can't be, because if someone wants to cause some destruction from a distance, nothing does that better than this functioning missile. Made out of a flying machine and of course TNT, it's programmed to move in a straight line until it eventually collides with something and explodes. It's a great way to wage war on your enemies. Well, as long as they don't have one of these indestructible walls. Cause while the stone itself is far from unbreakable, if a player takes some stairs and waterlogs them, the wall will become entirely explosion proof. No longer will you have to worry about creepers or enemy players exploding about. Minecraft beds are about as basic as they come, which is why most players opt for a more custom look. And this fancy modern design built from quartz might just be my favorite. Complete with banner pillows, a bookshelf behind it, and potted plants on each side, it's super comfy and the perfect bed for any modern build, especially if paired with these awesome aquarium shelves. Built with glass in front of pockets of water, these can be a great colorful way to add some extra detail to your build, which of course can be made even better if you decide to stick a fish or axolotl inside. Just maybe stay away from using guardians. Whoa! Ah! Ow! Though, for those craving secrecy, this secret entrance build hack is completely undetectable. By building up a fireplace with a hidden trapdoor placed between a boat and a campfire, players can just flip down the trapdoor to access the boat on the other side. Perfect place to store your diamonds from prying eyes.
I'll find you, my pretties.
Animated blocks in Minecraft are a pretty rare sight. However, with the use of banners, players can create their own moving lights, as by placing a light block in an item frame, the banner's movements will cover and uncover it in a way that can be used to create these cool moving light walls. Ooh, pretty! Almost as pretty as all this diamond ore I've been collecting with this crane. Built up with some chains and grindstone pulleys, no mining build is complete without one of these big guys. And they're a great way to show off your wealth in a more tasteful way.
Pretties! I must have you for my...
When it comes to smelting all that ore though, this simple lava-powered smelting machine is a great way to give your forge some extra flair. Plus, with some lava, dripstone, and a cauldron placed like so, you can make sure you've got an infinitely renewing fuel source nearby to keep it up and ready to smelt. Though, if you need some help building it, or anything else, why not get yourself some of these strongmen? With the use of an armor stand, we can make it look like a player is holding up a heavy pallet of stuff. Ooh, man, that is impressive. But I bet anyone could do that. Hey, see? It's not so hard. And for those players looking for a way to get super buff, this bench press build is just the way to do it. Built from a variety of materials, including rods, armor stands, and netherite, this workout station will have you sweating in no time. I need a pizza break. Oh, and this cheesy delight is just what the doctor ordered. Oh. This cute little pizza box hack can easily be recreated using a custom player head and armor stand. And you can even add around some item frame plates and campfires to act as pizza slices. Though, you know what Minecraft doesn't have enough of? Robots! So move over, iron golems. This is the future! And they don't take all that much to build, especially if you replace the netherite block in its chest with a dispenser. Then, you can even have him shoot stuff out for you, like some fire charges.
That is the last straw! Bring out the destroyer!
Destroyer?
Now you will pay!
It's made of blocks. It's not gonna move.
Oh.
It still looks sick though. Crafted from a lot of blackstone and some netherite, this big robot fella still makes for an intimidating statue. Though, for players that just want to add detail to their armor displays, doubling up on stands is a great hack to do just that, as you'll then be able to equip both a mob or player head and a helmet at the same time. Looking good, my zomboy. TNT cannons work great, but they don't really look the part. Thankfully, we've got this tank build for all your wartime needs. Built with some blocky treads, a variety of green blocks for camouflage, and some redstone antennas, this beast of a vehicle can really help to sell any military build. And although it doesn't actually work as is, you can easily build this simple TNT cannon on top to give it both style and function. Fire away! Ned! Oh no, I'm so sorry, I didn't see you there. Here, I have just the thing. This wheelchair build. Up you go. There, all better. And with that, my job is done.
Box, I can't move. Box!
When disposing of items in Minecraft, a lava pit or cactus bin is the usual fare. However, why not kick things up a notch with this nuclear waste disposal? Built using trapdoors and grindstones for the conveyor belt, along with a lot of slime, it's a cool way to show that you care about the environment. Though, you might just want to throw a couple of these better potted plants around to help sell that idea. By simply placing a flower pot on top of a regular pot, players can then use any combination of saplings, plants, and blocks to make these cool, larger custom pot designs. This is my happy place, thanks in part to my skeleton turret keeping the riffraff away. Turrets like these are incredible for deterring unwanted players due to their rapid fire rate and damage. Plus, they don't require much to build, as long as you don't mind luring and renaming a few skeletons. I dub thee Sir Bozo! Ow! But that's just the basic design. If you wanted something more high-tech, this working laser turret works great and looks awesome. It's built in much the same way as the skeleton turret, only this time, guardians are stuck around the edges and given invisibility. Since they won't suffocate out of water, they'll be stuck inside, defending your base from any player attack. Fireplaces can be a really tricky thing to build correctly. I mean, I still remember lighting up a netherrack block in my first house, only to return to it in flames. No! However, this special fireplace will not only stay contained in its little fireproof box, but thanks to some redstone, it can also be turned on and off at the push of a button. Fancy! Which pairs perfectly with this fancy TV setup. Using banners, players can not only build some awesome looking speakers for their pad, but they can also use them to add extra details to their TVs, making it look like you're actually watching or playing something on it. Maybe even some Mario Kart! One of the coolest gaming build hacks is this cart build by YouTuber Beastin' and Feastin', which can even be ridden in thanks to the minecart. It uses wither skulls for wheels and even has 3 green shells spread around, made from a number of armor stands and some turtle shell helmets. Though, if spookier is more your style, check out these Five Nights at Freddy's heads. There's one for each classic animatronic. Built using armor stands, blocks, and banners, they make for haunting decorations, because even if I know they're not real, they still freak me out a little. Now, bamboo has many uses, though I never would have thought to use them as old TNT crates. Sure enough though, if paired with a sign, you can make these cool looking custom TNT blocks that can even be rigged to explode if you place TNT underneath it. A more useful build hack, though, would be to create this timed TNT. Sometimes you just need some more time to escape the blast radius, especially if it's a massive explosion. And that's where this comes in. By setting up redstone in a pattern like so, players can place items inside the barrel to determine the countdown time. And then...
what's that ticking noise?
it will tick continuously until...
It kind of sounds like a...
Kablam! Now, traversing the nether almost always ends in disaster. Thankfully though, this lava path generator is here to make our lives just a little easier. Built from ice, slime, and of course redstone, once created, it can be used to automatically generate a path for you across any lava ocean, no matter how wide. Just, still keep an eye out for ghasts. On the frostier side though, check out this snow globe build. This little snow golem fella is having the time of his life. Though it's a bit complex, players can drop armor stands into positions like so and place down their snowy friend before finishing it all off with a glass dome. The results are so worth it when you've got this happy little guy watching you all day and night. Shovels are a great tool for digging up dirt, but for those bigger jobs, maybe pair it with this mini excavator build. It's an adorable little dig machine that makes for a great use of the mostly useless copper material. And with how simple it is, they're really easy to throw around any dig site. Maybe even hire some parrots to operate them.
Alright, dance break.
Great idea!
Great idea.
Oh yeah! Though you could always make your own music with this playable piano. To make one of these yourself, start with some dragon heads on armor stands positioned over stone cutters. Then push some slabs over them with white carpet on top for a nice keyboard look, before finishing with a row of note blocks. You'll have yourself an awesome looking playable piano. And you could always spruce up that same room with this whimsical aquarium shelf build. It can be made from any variety of blocks, and not only acts as a storage space with that chest up top, but can give you a lovely view of your pet axolotl too. Look at the little guy, he's loving this. Or you could always invite the squishy boy into your outdoor hot tub. Thanks to the use of both a campfire and soul sand floor, you can be sure that the water will always be warm and bubbling. You can even place some candles around to give it a more detailed look that you can admire while you take a relaxing soak. Unless you decide to take things to the extreme with this Bomberbot, a cute little robot fit to defend any high-tech base. Spread them around, and if you've got a flame bow, shoot the TNT to send down a deadly surprise on any attacker. Boom! Direct hit! Though, if you want to make sure your enemies never get near your base, you should build this electric fence. With the use of 2 command blocks sporting both of these commands, any fence can be set up to send lightning down on those that get too close. They never learn. Sometimes you just gotta defend your toy train. This little beauty is my pride and joy, made from custom player heads on armor stands above some rails. It brings an air of fun to any base, though I just like it because it goes choo-choo. Another option though could be to make these rather large Lego bricks. Though not quite to scale, the use of custom player heads can help create these giant toys, which, if used right, can help give the illusion of a cool Lego brick-built home. These blocks are as colorful as they probably are heavy, and when you gotta be hauling anything around, building one of these awesome pickup trucks can help you with the big stuff. Made from a variety of different blocks, including hanging signs for the sides and bamboo rafts as cargo, this build just looks good. Almost as good as this painting I'm working on. Because instead of just hanging something up on one of my many bland walls, I've taken to nature with an armor stand and trapdoor to create this outdoor painting easel. It makes for a great spot to come and admire Minecraft in all its beauty. Oh, it's gorgeous. Though, when you're feeling competitive, it's time to build one of these air hockey tables. By building out a table like this, players can then recreate the paddles using a few armor stands, and the puck by placing down a button. Then, it's game on! Though I've never been good at air hockey. Pool, on the other hand, I'm also not good at, but you can create a sick-looking pool table by messing with some mob heads on armor stands, covering it all with a carpet, and then sticking signs underneath it to act as the sticks. And once you've done all that, then it's game on. Oh! Well, after I eat my delicious microwave meal, this little machine here can fit an entire chicken inside. Oh, not you. It's actually just a custom player head on an armor stand that looks like a chicken.
Ooh, that's a relief.
Did you just talk? I might be going crazy. Nothing this crystal analyzer can't fix, though. Built from blocks including deep slate, end rods, a banner, and of course, amethyst crystals, this scientific build is perfect for any aspiring researcher. And it looks pretty. Right, time to find out if I'm crazy. Hey crystals, am I crazy? Wrong answer! Now, with all the fighting you have to do in Minecraft, it's a good idea to train every once in a while. That's where this simple punching bag comes in. It's a great way to punch out all of your anger! And makes for a fantastic addition to any gym build. As does this water dispenser. Everyone knows you gotta stay hydrated. And a light blue glass pane to act as the pouring water. You can make sure you've got access to thirst-quenching liquids anywhere you want. Ah, refreshing. It's especially useful if you pair it with one of these coffee grinders. By squishing 2 armor stands together and placing these blocks around with some cocoa beans in an item frame, we can create this convincing looking grinder, along with a flower pot or 2 to act as coffee cups. Now, for a nice warm cup of—
Out of my way!
way! Though no kitchen is complete without a nice stovetop to cook on. And this is about as nice as they come. Starting with a pan built from armor stands, players can then layer a stair block on top before completing it with a banner to act as the oven door. If you want, you can even swap out the stair block for a smoker to get the same amazing design while still being able to cook your food in it. Delicious! Now, when you need some time to just get away from it all, however, building one of these sunbed setups can really help you unwind at the beach. Crafted together from wooden blocks and, surprisingly, using beds as the umbrella, any player can find their happy place before getting on back to the city. Ah! I'm blinded by the lights! The lights coming from that fantastic streetlight build. Once made, they'll complement any player's modern city wonderfully. Though, I will admit, the beacons make this an expensive one to build in survival, so it might be better to just stick with some sea lanterns, as much as I hate guardians. Ah! Though, another great way to add detail to a city build is with furnaces, as if placed around on a sidewalk like so, they'll make for fantastic street water drains. You just gotta make sure to build the street itself out of slabs, or it's not gonna look as good. Now, if you ever wanted to game inside of your game, you can't go wrong with one of these arcade machines. Perfect for any gamer, one can easily be thrown together with some stands positioned like so, and various blocks. Once finished off with the painting, you'll have an awesome decoration for any gaming room. Along with this burger, a delightful little meal made only from an iron helmet that acts as the plate and a custom player head for the burger. It'll have you drooling while you build this funny frog. A simple build made using turtle shell armor stands, a banner, and a block, this little guy is here to cheer you up when the going gets tough. Ah! No, I'm not gonna die! I'm not gonna... Ah! No! I lost all my stuff! Oh, frog. You know what? You're right. I can't give up. Ah! I give up! I give up! Or you could just build this simple flamingo to spruce up your front lawn. Easy to build if you've got the cherry wood. It's a welcoming sign to all who see it. In fact, it's so welcoming that your friends will be none the wiser as you sneak away into your secret bookshelf hideaway. Now, which book was it? This one? Nope. This one? No. This one. Aha! Built using chiseled bookshelves and some simple redstone set up in this configuration, players can create their very own secret bookshelf doors that only open once a specific book is pulled. It's the perfect way to hide my deepest, darkest secret. This upside down farm! See, by renaming mobs to Dinnerbone and tying them up to fence posts, players can create this rather unusual sight that's guaranteed to confuse their friends. Though you could instead impress them with this working grandfather clock. Using an observer, daylight sensor, and a bell, players can rig up this detailed grandfather clock design that will actually ring whenever the time changes, letting you know when it's safe to go outside. But why go outside when you could instead stare at this laptop? When will my dad be back with the milk? Built using an armor stand and chainmail helmet for the keyboard, with the banner and custom player head for the screen, players can make this neat little computer to watch cool videos, or learn how to create one of these fish drying racks, which is as simple as setting up some wood, chains, and invisible item frames to hang up and sun dry all them delicious fish. Makes for a cool way to display them, even if it'd be way cooler to trap and display hostile mobs. Though it can be tricky, if players lure a mob in and trap them like so, with the fence at the bottom, they can then push the glass into place for this awesome design. Any mob can be stuck in here, even creepers, without the threat of explosion. Though, players that are feeling extra devious can even build this torture device for their hostile mobs or villagers. Where is your secret base?
It's down the hall and to the left.
Oh, okay, thanks.
No problem.
Whoa! Uh-oh! Looks like someone rigged up an awesome moving light path and wall using 1.21's new crafter blocks. As items travel through this line, they're crafted and uncrafted in a constant cycle to create this cool effect. Although, players could also use this new block as a working keypad lock. Thanks to user EC342, with the proper setup, this door will only open as long as a specific item is crafted inside of it. Bingo! And inside we have this awesome looking chest filled with sparkling amethyst. Built with a variety of wood, crystals, and a banner lock, it's gorgeous and functional, as players can store their valuables inside the barrels. Then I can safely travel with my loot using this trapped bridge. For those looking for a fun way to prank their friends, a bridge like this makes it easy with a simple lever flick. Boop! Easily made with some redstone lined trapdoors, anyone can create this deadly dropper. You could even have them fall into a pit of these piranha plants. Made from a custom player head and a potted bamboo or fern, players can make cool large flowers for their builds. Ouch! Why, you little... Though, if you need to gain some air in a hurry, use this wind booster. Whoa! Simple to make, using just 4 dispensers filled with wind charges. Just press a button and boom! You're airborne! Or you could take it to the extreme with this wind trampoline. With its constantly dispensing wind charges pointed upwards, players could use it to get some insane airtime. Or travel around their base. Of course, it's not the most subtle. For that, players should instead build these invisible stairs. Utilizing pistons and stairs placed in a specific way, anyone can create stairs that are entirely hidden until the item in this frame is rotated enough times. Not even the smartest detective could find it.
This is a wall!
Yeah, you're so observant. But what about that cracked glass? A really simple detail. By just adding glow lichen over glass blocks, players can make it appear cracked and damaged.
Like me! Ah!
For extra detail, you could even use walls like this alongside other blocks in a build to make it look like the area has been worn down or damaged, likely from some mischievous creepers. Ugh, creepy. Though not as creepy as these haunting eyes. A great way to scare your friends by just placing some ender eyes inside invisible glow frames deep underground. Players can make it look like something is watching from the darkness. And it is actually terrifying. I suppose a more reasonable use of glowing sacks would be to make these LED light strips. Made from signs with text like this, players can spruce up their epic gamer pads with some awesome looking lights, or go much bigger with a full-on neon sign like this. From a distance, the lights even seem to flicker and move, like something straight out of Cyberpunk. Why, it's almost as advanced as this adjustable enchanting room. Sometimes players just want to enchant at a lower level, and with this sticky piston setup, players can retract each bookshelf layer as needed to get the enchantments they want when they want them. Well, kinda. Ugh, I wanted fortune! Get out of my face! Ooh, well that looks delicious. Made from custom player heads and some invisible armor stands for the sticks, this cozy little setup makes for a great place to relax while devouring some tasty chicken. Now, are you tired of nether mobs constantly sneaking in through your open portal? What if I told you that with a simple addition of 2 dispensers set up like so, and a lever, players can create this on-off switch for their portals to keep those pesky mobs out?
Let me in! Let me in!
Now, some say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but what about the camera? Well, built from armor stands and custom player heads, players could craft one of their very own to capture each and every Minecraft moment. All right, say cheese! So most players need somewhere to hide all their goodies. And while buried chests work well enough, I find it more fun to build secret bunkers under my double beds. Like this one that uses trapdoors and a minecart. Your friends will be none the wiser.
Yep, that's a bed!
Though, for those looking to add some detail to their builds, another good hack is to swap out some brick blocks in your wall with stairs. It's a super simple change that, if done right, can give the illusion of missing blocks and add some extra depth to an otherwise flat wall, which you could then defend with this working turret! Cause unlike other turrets we've shown off that attack players, this one targets hostile mobs by making use of snow golems stuck inside. And although their snowballs are fairly harmless, if fire is placed in front, the snowballs will somehow ignite and then set those baddies ablaze. Haha. Well, I guess you're out of a job now. When your pets have had a hard day, full of sleeping and eating and sleeping again, you'll want to build them a nice comfy crate like this to come home to. Using new copper trapdoors and some carpet on the floor, players can make sure their pets feel safe and secure. Though players could also build one of these giant copper golems. A build that'll put any iron golem to shame. This big boy can be made using various copper blocks and a banner for the face to let other players know you mean business. Or, if you'd rather a more welcoming tune, you could build yourself this working doorbell. With just 2 note blocks connected to a button, like so, players can make sure they'll know when their guests arrive. Oh, hey Carl.
Hi!
For the dance party! Aw, yeah!
Ooh, look! I'm busting a move!
Made especially groovy with the help of this sick boombox. Made from just a few player heads on armor stands, anyone can easily throw one together to have a party of their own while their copper pipes are busy transporting all their items. They not only look great thanks to the new copper trapdoors, but by using water to transport items instead of a bunch of hoppers, players can save a ton of iron. Though you might want to save some of that copper to build one of these armored trucks, cause it's a tough world out there. And sometimes to survive, players need to quickly create an awesome looking truck made from various blocks to hide inside of. I am going to be here a while. I probably should have built one of these dolphin speedways instead, so I could run at super speeds. It's a special path made from water, soul sand, and dolphins. And if a player then enchants boots with Deep Strider and Soul Speed, they'll be able to travel at incredible speeds. Though, if you add a swiftness potion on top, you might just break the sound barrier. Wow! Though super speed won't stop the mobs from spawning, unlike these automatic night lamps. Because by placing a daylight sensor on a redstone lantern and right-clicking it, players can easily create lights that'll instantly turn on when it gets dark and off when the sun comes up, helping you keep the mobs away without needing the lights on all day. But what about a farm that farms itself? Using just observers, pistons, and hoppers, anyone can easily create this automatic melon farm to get all the food without any of the work. Though players could also build this automatic bridge. It uses pistons, trapwire hooks, and string to create a walkway that fills in and retracts as the player moves. And because hostile mobs don't understand redstone, they're too stupid to cross. Haha, idiot! Huh? Oh no. Back! Shoo! Shoo! Whew. Thank goodness I have this water spraying sprinkler system. Using a dispenser filled with fireworks, along with 2 armor stands, water, and a trapdoor, farmers can create any number of awesome looking sprinkler systems to keep their crops happy and healthy. Your harvests might even be a little too big. Though, if that happens, players could also build themselves one of these wheelbarrow designs to be filled up to the brim with compost. Or you could use it for an intense wheelbarrow race.
On your marks.
Get set, go! Eat my dust! No, eat mine! Oh, right. they don't move. Guess I'll build one of these rabbit traps instead. Made from a few trapdoors and a pressure plate, when the elusive rodents decide to help themselves to the carrot buffet, snap! They'll be trapped inside!
You can't do this to me!
First time being caught, huh? Don't worry. This guy never does anything.
Oh boy, time to cook a delicious rabbit stew! In this stew pot! Made from armor stands and copper rods, players can create this detailed-looking stew pot for all their cooking needs. It's good, but it's missing something.
Excuse me. What I meant to say was, I'm out of here!
While rabbit traps work well enough for rabbits, if you wanted to catch something a bit bigger, you should build one of these trap pens. By outlining an area with pistons and lining some pressure plates along the inside, mobs will often wander into the pen, only to be trapped by the moving fences once inside. Sometimes you might even come back to a few too many. But then, you'd have a good excuse to use this rapid-fire fire cannon! Players can build one of their own by placing just a few observers and some redstone like this. Then, it can be used to rapidly fire out whatever the player wants, like arrows, fire, or even wind charges! Haha! Now, while tough bricks are only found in the trial chambers, they do also make for incredible looking ancient ruins when placed around like so, alongside this sword stuck in stone. Using an armor stand and copper rod, players can make this cool mini display to make it look like a sword is stuck. And I heard that whoever pulls it out becomes a king.
I wanna be king!
Or you could just build yourself this beautiful crystal throne. Because, made primarily from sparkling amethyst, you're sure to feel like a king without needing to pull out some stupid sword. You, Jester!
Huh?
Tell me a joke. Okay, a doctor walks into a bar and heard it flip. You're a bad king! Well, I guess I'll just stare out my new rustic windows instead. As thanks to 1.21, we've got new copper grate blocks that work, well, great as rustic windows, whether for a castle or a house. They let in just enough light to highlight the beauty of this pineapple made from honeycomb and a berry bush while you paint it on a banner canvas. Using these 6 patterns, it makes for a lovely set piece or wall decoration, though it can also be used to hide your valuables too. By rigging up pistons to a pressure plate hidden behind a painting like so, players can create a secret opening to hide all their valuable loot. Wait, where's my stuff?
Ah! I finally found a secret! Ah!
Which you can also protect with this copper fence. Aside from looking cool, during a lightning storm, it might just provide some extra protection by frying unlucky mobs or players. It'll certainly keep your dirt golem entertained. Made from a variety of earthly blocks, this big old fella makes for an inviting lawn ornament to your base, and is a lot easier to look at than this spooky eye in a jar. Using an armor stand, one custom head, and a glass block, players can place a pressure plate on top to create this creepy decoration. Though it can be helpful if left to keep an eye on your aquarium floor fishies. For those just looking for an excuse to add some extra color to their bases, building one of these with some coral and fish scattered about can really liven things up. Heck, maybe you even shove a guardian inside before you decorate the walls with hanging signs, because they make for a great way to add some unique detail to walls like these, or can even be used as walls themselves. The best part is, a wall like this will still prevent hostile mobs from entering, and you can easily shoot through the sign slits. Haha! I'm untouchable! What the? A fun little build. Using a variety of deep slate and lime glass for the beam, players can build this UFO that looks like it's abducting a mob. Though, when you start to get a little hungry, you could always make yourself this a nice pasta dish with the clever use of some red coral in an item frame and yellow coral placed on a waterlogged trapdoor. Players can create the illusion of some delicious spaghetti. Just make sure to do the dishes afterwards. Because while using a custom player head on an armor stand can be used to create a nice dining environment, it can also be used to create stacks of unwashed dishes if just placed on its own. Dang. Or, instead of doing the dishes, you could just eat straight from the vine using one of these beautiful glowberry farms. Instead of hanging vines around in caves, building a simple setup like this makes for an easy way to harvest some glowing berries. It's best to leave the caves with these special berry vines instead. A great way to decorate any stone wall, players could place vines over ore blocks like redstone, lapis, or gold to make it look like the vines are growing different berries. You could even make diamond berries. Just don't take a bite out of them. Huh, nothing happened. Heart attack! Thankfully, after a long day of eating diamonds, players can get an energy boost with this cup of coffee build. Created using an armor stand, custom player head, and end rod straw, any tired player will be refreshed and ready to take on this Cyborg Guardian, a giant robot mech suit piloted by an Elder Guardian. It watches you with the intent to kill. Though the worst it can do is give you mining fatigue. Annoying. And though he puts on a tough guy act, he's secretly self-conscious about his exposed tail. Like how I'm self-conscious about my cooking. Though my cooking skill is no fault of this amazing modern stove build. Hopper minecarts with copper trapdoors on top make for an incredibly convincing burner. And with the smoking campfires underneath, players can even use them to cook their food before they need to get ready with one of these dresser builds. Using a crafter rotated in a specific way, players can make the block look like the handles of a dresser drawer. Not that I'd ever need one. I never change. Which is fine, right, Totem?
You smell bad.
Oh. Wait, I know how to fix this.
Wait, no!
Now, players can build a totem of their very own using armor stands and a variety of custom player heads. There we go. Now, new totem. Do I smell bad?
No?
Very good. Moving on, the new copper bulbs are fun, right? They make for great lamps using a rod and armor stand with a leather cap. Though they could also be used to create this amazingly detailed outdoor lamp. Built from a pot surrounded by trapdoors with a bell on top before the bulb. It's a no-brainer to create next to one of these mailboxes. Another great use for the crafter, it just takes a few blocks to throw together this mailbox design, which will only look better with some banner-made letters scattered around the ground. You just gotta keep an eye out for the tiny bus. Made from custom player heads, this cute little vehicle can make for a sweet ride. Well, as long as you're really small. In you go, Tiny Bonks.
Oh boy, off we go!
Sometimes, if you love them, you gotta let them go. Though, if you feel lonely, you could always craft some of these little robot guys. Made from a crafter block, along with a number of armor stands, an army of these fellas can be built around your base to project both power and cuteness. Though they are useless.
Hey!
Just like all these torches. Because who needs them when you've got invisible lights? Okay, not really. But by using some string and carpet, players are able to hide their light sources in the ceiling, which works great for those who prefer a more subtle lighting environment, like those in this industrial pipe cellar. With a combination of copper, a compass for a gauge, and banners for the water tanks, players can build this nice industrial pipe set to add detail to their builds. It pairs rather nicely with the Infinity Gauntlet! Built using custom player heads and an armor stand, this gauntlet contains the power of all universes! Why, I bet if I snap my fingers, I could... Hi, Bonks! Hi, Bonks! Say, this is a swell universe you've got here. Thanks. Be a real shame if one of us were evil, huh? Are you evil? Oh no! Something less intense, but arguably more cool, are these hanging lanterns. But while it's not possible to have lanterns float on their own, the same doesn't apply to glass panes. So by dotting these around with some lanterns placed underneath, then tying up some mobs to posts, we can make it look like the lanterns are being held up by the rope. Everyone's gotta protect their goods, so why not stick them in glass? Players that visit the world border can set up a piston in such a way that it'll push one block into another, leaving a ghost block in its spot and allowing you to place or hide anything inside. Sneaky. As much as I love candles, they tend to come up a little short, but thankfully, by placing a candle on an end rod, we can get ourselves the long candle. Though, you can also get this leafy green one with potted bamboo, or make a copper candle holder with a lightning rod. Just don't use a chain, because that just doesn't look right. Like how the lighting on these walls seems a little too realistic. And that's because with a few cleverly dyed banner patterns placed around like so, we can make it look like our wall lamps are giving off some unusually realistic lighting. Archery takes skill, and what better way to practice than to build one of these training dummies? Well, thanks to the use of an armor stand and some item frames, we can mold the perfect sparring partner. Just watch out for the bouncing arrows. Ouch! While doors are great for keeping things out, sometimes they're a little too good. Come on! Let me in! Let me in! Ah! So, to get around this, why not use rods instead? They'll give you easier entry, but still keep those mobs from following you inside. You could also place two hanging signs like this to get the same results, though I prefer to use them as doggy doors. They're the perfect size, and your pup will thank you, especially if you build them their own little house. Can nether portals get any smaller than this? No, or can they? Well, by taking advantage of some respawn anchors and invisible armor stands, we can create these convincing mini portals, making it look like an item is being teleported through. It's the perfect way to spice up any portal build. Instead of using a basic furnace, smelt your hard-earned materials in this epic lava forge. Since ancient debris won't burn in lava, if we place a hopper, furnace, and a little redstone with some lava to cover it all up, you can just toss it right in and then watch as the smelted netherite scrap bubbles up to the surface. Now, the standard Minecraft bed provides little comfort. But by adding some trapdoors, stairs, and banners, then it's nothing but sweet dreams. You could also bring this idea to the living room and cozy up for a relaxing movie night. I love this one! And when you're thirsty, what's better than a refreshing glass of juice? Layer a scaffold, barrel, and a honey or slime block on top, then finish it off with a tripwire hook and ore block for some dripping juice. And you've got a fresh drink for all your friends! They're probably all just running late. Using trapdoors is an unobtrusive way to integrate a ladder anywhere in your room. If there isn't a nearby wall to attach a ladder to, just stack trapdoors and open them all up. You can place the ladders without worry. Well, just don't flip those trapdoors, or it'll break. But you could take it further and create a double-sided ladder by alternating the ladders and trapdoors like so, allowing for even more building and traversing possibilities. When it comes to paintings, we've only got so many, so why not create your own? Customizing a banner and then placing an item frame behind it, we can easily create unique portraits, whether using mob heads, jack-o'-lanterns, or other blocks like an observer. He seems thrilled to be here. But what if you need a computer inside of your game, inside of your computer? Well, thanks to user Emic, by tweaking some armor stands and custom player heads, we can make this awesome looking computer, complete with a button mouse. Now, to browse the internet! Oh, the horror! Next, protect yourself with this awesome build. Utilizing a number of unique blocks, we can create a watchful guard to scare off any troublemakers and intimidate your enemies.
That's lame.
Ha-ha! Fire! fire TNT long distances with this easy to build yet mighty TNT cannon. A few dispensers, a splash of water, and a single sea pickle are all it takes to knock out a player or build.
Ah, wait, no! My brand new statue!
If beacons can only be made out of iron, gold, diamond, or netherite blocks, then how is this possible? Well, due to beacons themselves being a transparent block, a beam from below can pass through. So just cover the pyramid with any choice of block and confuse your friends with this cool custom beacon. Outside of text, signs are a bit limited, so just use pots instead. They actually work amazingly and give players a ton of options. Just don't ignore those creeper signs either. They're probably meant as a warning. Netherite upgrades also work wonderfully as arrow signs, or as indicators for your elevator. Just bear in mind that you'll need 7 diamonds for each new sign you craft, so this is definitely for those that have more diamonds than they know what to do with. Thanks to the addition of hanging signs, we can now craft this awesome swing build using only 2 chains, the hanging signs, and 6 trapdoors hung up from a tree. Now, you can't actually sit in it, but you can sit in this smaller swing. Using mostly the same blocks, but throwing in a boat above a floating trapdoor, we can craft this beautiful and functional hanging design. But it gets even better, because if we trap a saddled strider in a minecart, then hide it and 2 leashed rabbits under some moss carpet with an invisibility potion thrown for good measure, we'll get this swing that actually, well, swings. Or we could also make this globe that actually spins. As user JMH Mirror discovered, players can use a command block to summon the base and add a yellow candle to act as the stem. Then use another command block to summon the globe with 1 more to keep it spinning. It's out of this world, just like the inside of my house. Because with invisible glow item frames, we can make our own glow-in-the-dark decorations. Try out some concrete blocks first for a splash of color, or use nether stars and gas tiers for a starry scene on your bedroom ceiling. Ooh! Also, with the right banner pattern and an item frame, you can make this smartphone in Minecraft. Now, I can keep in touch with Carl.
OMG Bonks, I love you! Can we hang out?
On second thought, there's nothing like good old-fashioned mail. And using different banner designs like these, your mailbox will be overflowing. Dear Bonks, OMG, I love you.
Can we hang
This is ridiculous!
When writing your next hit novel, once upon a time there was a handsome doctor named Bonks. Everyone loved him and he was actually a real doctor and his parents respected him. Why display it on a bland old lectern when you could make this fancy display cabinet instead? Just a few trapdoors and a stained glass block is all it takes to show that lonely lectern some love. Or display your new armor trims with this awesome hanging technique. Through the use of an invisible armor stand and chains, you can make it look like your armor is hanging up from the ceiling. A great way to bring some variety to any armory or forge build. The hottest biome in Minecraft is probably the Badlands. But if that's still not hot enough for you, then try adding in some of these mini geysers. With just a campfire, pot, and carpet, we can get a natural design that both creates smoke particles and lights the area to keep those mobs at bay. Placing floating blocks is impossible in Minecraft, even in creative mode. However, replacing a floating block is a different story. If you're fast enough, just left and right click at the exact same time, and voila! That freestanding block is now a different freestanding block. With update 1.20, we can now place books inside of chiseled bookshelves. But what if we wanted to place them on top? Using this armor trim, we can turn a leather cap into a convincing book. Just place some snow to get your armor stand into position, then use a piston to impale a bookshelf into it. And now, you've got a loose book lying around your library. Hoppers require way too much iron to transport items long distances, so it's much more economical to use water power instead. Acacia trapdoors make for a nice pipe aesthetic, and with them lined up, you can now pipe your items to their final destination without the big spending. Is there a monster preventing your slumber? Have you checked under the bed? Well, do that. Oh, it's just a mob head. Placing a daylight sensor with an armor stand on top gives any mob head just enough height to peek out. And it makes for a decent prank, too. Though nothing beats a classic jump scare. Utilizing redstone, a piston, and a slab, we can rig up our mob heads to pop out when players least expect it. Whether it's popping out of a composter or a hole inside of a cave wall.
Why is this happening?
Aquariums have to be built big to actually get those fish inside. So how did we create this tiny fishbowl build? Well, by placing a chest, topping it with glass, and placing a map and an item frame underneath, a bucketed fish can float in the block without suffocating. The same works for axolotls, even if they seem a little too big for the bowl. While it could be argued how small you can make a functioning base, this would be my vote for the smallest. Built with trapdoors and utilizing any visible space, we can cram a bed, chest, crafting table, furnace, anvil, and smithing table inside. Perfect for anyone that wants to make a compact travel home. Now, for those wanting extra detail in their bigger homes, we can add these wall trims to break up any flat colors. By just placing some item frames around the base and typing out this command, your rooms will thank you for their beautiful new look. And it pairs nicely with this detailed bathroom sink build, complete with banners for mirrors, tripwire hook faucets, and various accessories. You could even throw together a working shower with a water dispenser so players can clean up after their hard day's work. Ah, refreshing! Since chests are limited to 1 per block, there's only so many items you can store in a given space. However, chest minecarts don't play by those same rules. And with this functioning drawer design, we can essentially squeeze 4 chests worth of storage space into 3. Just look at all this space! Given how item frames only come in 2 varieties, there's not much room for creativity. Luckily, utilizing banners and setting up an armor stand like so, we can instead display our wall items over a wide range of different colors and patterns. Don't these all look incredible? Another option still would be to display your items inside of a case. And by setting up some invisible armor stands next to glass, we can accomplish that perfectly. Great for showing off valuables or for freezing stuff in ice. Given Minecraft doesn't have a table block of its own, players have had to get creative with a number of different builds. And although some are better than others, these hanging sign tables might be my favorite. It's great to sit down for a strong meal. That's not all hanging signs are good for though, as they also make for surprisingly fantastic new fences. But while I'd argue it looks better than the standard fence, it's not tall enough to keep mobs in or out.
Oh no! They breached our defenses! How is this possible? We built it so good!
Moving items from place to place usually requires hoppers or water. And since both aren't usually the most visually appealing, why not create this moving conveyor belt build above it? By using armor stands in minecarts along a rail underneath some carpet, we can hide that shabby pipeline with something more aesthetically pleasing. If you think Minecraft boats are boring, then you're not alone. Sometimes you just have to take it upon yourself to fix things. With this ship that I think is leagues better. And while you can still sit in it, just keep in mind that you won't be sailing from coast to coast. My magic carpet might get you there though. Ooh. But this moving rug does have a mind of its own. Probably because it's a sniffer that I stuffed underneath some carpet. It's fun. You never know where your carpet's gonna be next. And you might just get some ancient seeds out of it. The technology in Minecraft isn't exactly advanced, but that's not gonna stop us from introducing the wonders of television to these villagers. Using a variety of blocks, a glowing sign, and some tridents in the back for antennas, we can create this convincing, however broken, TV screen. He doesn't seem to mind though.
Ooh, pretty colors. Mom said it's my turn to watch TV.
And if you want to game while you game, why not pair it with this Nintendo Switch build? Using some helmets and a wither skull with some armor stands, we can create this Nintendo replica. Now these villagers can play the latest and greatest.
Ooh, no, that's mine too. Ah!
When organizing chests, most players tend to lean on either signs or item frames to do the job. But why not both? You see, since these two items can share a block space, we can overlap them to get the best of both worlds. The perfect way to show and tell. In Minecraft, there's not much to be scared of, outside of maybe the warden, which is why it's all the more terrifying to come across these piercing white eyes when you're deep in the caves. Simple enough to make with just a sign and glow ink sac, and oh so worth it when you scare your friend to pieces. While players have been building infinite water pools for a while now, it's much more impressive when you come across one that's built like this, as there's only one visible water block. The trick here is to build it using waterlogged stairs around the exposed water, so it constantly refills the middle without revealing the rest. Though waterlogged slabs have their uses too. Because they still count as water source blocks, players can place things like lily pads or alive coral fans on top of them. Plus, they can be used to hide the water in your farms while also preventing them from turning to ice if in a tundra. Defending your Minecraft base can be a daunting task, especially if you built it near a village. Oh boy. Luckily, we took a page out of Medieval History's book and built arrow slits all over. Now we can safely fire arrows out of the top of our tower or from inside our base's walls to deal with any hostile mobs or players.
Come out, you coward!
Nah, I'm good. One annoyance in Minecraft is placing down a fence or glass pane only to have it connect in a way you didn't want. Well, thanks to the debug stick, that's no longer an issue, as using this stick allows you to reorient blocks in whatever way you please, which can be used to build some awesome designs, like this detailed picket-style fence. You could also use it to confuse mobs and create a 2x2 mine shaft that you can walk through, but they can't. Later! For your next dock, you might want to incorporate one of these, because this boat crane not only looks great, but provides easy access to your boat at the flip of a trapdoor. Plus, it stays out of mob reach, so you won't be getting any stowaways. But once you're actually in the water, you might want to make another change, as swapping out the lower blocks of your build with something darker can give it a water-soaked look that replicates the feel of a rising tide, giving your build that perfect finishing touch. When diving deep into one's mines, it's easy to forget just how deep you've actually gone. Though, with the use of some numbered banners, we can quickly distinguish when we're at diamond mining level. Ah, perfect! And tell how much of a climb it is back to the surface. Oh, am I there yet? Oh! Barrels are great for storing items, but not so great for displaying them. With the help of just a few trapdoors though, we can create these open barrel designs that'll actually showcase the goodies inside. Blocks like raw gold, hay, and kelp look especially great and can really add detail to any shop or storage room. Though composters are actually even better because, as we can see here, they can be filled to different levels. And if you want it filled with something other than the podzol texture, it's as easy as pushing the composter into an armor stand with the block of your choice. When Halloween rolls around, most of us carve our own unique jack-o'-lanterns. Though, in Minecraft, we are limited to just one design. That is, unless you take advantage of custom map art. Then, you could have all these awesomely spooky designs, or just create your own. Don't even have to get your hands dirty. Two blocks that don't get enough love are the mushroom blocks. And while they might have a limited use case, placing them next to each other and breaking them will reveal an interior pattern that works wonderfully as an old, worn-out wallpaper. Perfect for any rundown house or dingy back room. Wait, where am I? Secret hideouts are supposed to be secret. So instead of placing that button to your secret entrance in plain sight, consider tossing it behind a banner instead. It'll fit in perfectly out of sight. And it's a cheap and easy way to make sure your secrets stay hidden. It's fun to bend the rules of Minecraft and make something unnatural. Though a classic staple is messing with Minecraft's grid system. By manipulating corner stair blocks, we can make it look like some of our blocks are placed off the grid. And whether it's to mess with your friends or add an extra level of detail to a build, it still feels just a little wrong. I, for one, do not condone Strider cruelty. They're too cute, and they make for a great chair cushion. Just saddle one up, shove it into the floor, and cover it with this luxurious chair design. You'll be sitting pretty in no time. Just make sure that your Strider friend is comfortable too. Now, I'd argue that spruce doors are the best doors, but regardless, the fact that they match spruce trapdoors so closely means that we can lay them out to give the appearance of a door that's fallen off its hinges. It's great for environmental storytelling, you know? Maybe it's run down, or maybe some zombies got inside. Hey! It was the zombie one! The next time you find yourself with a spare helmet, instead of throwing it in a chest to be forgotten, why not turn it into a dazzling new decoration? It's as simple as placing an armor stand on a shorter block, then pushing the case on top with a piston. Then, bam! You've got yourself a new display case for your head case. Or you could use that same technique to instead shove it into a chest that, when opened, will reveal a sparkling treasure inside. It's really the perfect chest for storing your hard-earned valuables. Outside of azaleas and berries, Minecraft doesn't have any bushes, which can make landscaping jobs a bit tricky. So to fix that, why not take some invisible item frames and attach different flowers to leaf blocks? It gives way more options for yard customization and just looks pretty. The outdoors is one of the most dangerous places to be at night, so why not grab some bamboo fence and a candle or two to take advantage of this simple tiki torch build? It's a great way to keep those mobs at bay while partying the night away.
Yeah! Let's keep this party going by checking out this video.